Welcome to the Board of Education's HR Committee meeting tonight. Today is July 25th. The time is 5:37. Thank you.
5:34. They're not off. The walls are wrong.
Oh, it's 5:34?
Yeah.
That's not what the clocks say, but that's okay. Whatever it is, we're going to begin the meeting. So I see I'm here, Mrs. Giglio's here, I see Ms. Lamphere, and I see Ms. Brown. So the committee is fully here, and we have our alternate present in case she's needed. Also present, we have Dr. Andrade, and we have Mr. Donovan, and we have Mike, I forget your last name.
Bouse
From the HR committee. So please look at the personnel recommendations that we were given today, dated July 25th, and see if you have any questions. No questions?
I do.
You do, okay. If it's something we need to go into private session for, we can.
Oh, no, it's nothing about anybody personal. It's just number 52, which says renominations, and I'm not really sure what that means and why why someone would be renominated.
Could you speak to that, Dr. Andrade? I'm not sure that I have the exact answer to that question. I know we've renominated people before. I'm just wondering if it's someone who's been like a long-term substitute who's continuing, or?
Mario, if you don't mind, I can take that.
Please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problems at all. So the renominations are those two. They weren't renominated throughout the school year because their certifications weren't recertified, and they just got recertified, so we are now submitting their name for renomination.
Okay, thank you. Good question, Ms. Lamphere.
Is it typical that teachers are renominated every year? Is that how it works?
All the teachers are renominated every year. Yep.
Okay, all right, thank you.
At a previous meeting, we did 100 of them or more. Okay, so there are no questions other than that? Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to approve the personnel recommendations.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay. The motion carries. So now we need to vote on it. Ms. Giglio votes yes. Ms. Johnson,
Brown.
I'm not having a good night. I'm really not. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
And Ms. Lamphere?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that motion carries. Additionally, I'm looking for a motion to approve the administrative recommendations read from today's packet, and I do have to read the entire recommendation. So there's a nomination to approve Matthew Posca as Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education for the 2022-23 school year at an annual salary of $116,000, and also a nomination to approve Brittany Duffy as Human Resources Director for the 22-23 school year at an annual salary of $110,000. Are there any questions? Okay. Ms. Johnson, even though you're not on the committee, I'm sure you can ask a question.
Oh, sure. I'll let the committee members go first.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
Yep, Ms. Brown.
I was actually wondering if they were going to come up and give us an introduction to themselves.
They're here.
Yes,
So would we like to do that before we vote on them?
I would love to.
That's typical.
Okay, is that how we usually do it? Okay, then I think that's wonderful. So since I brought up Mr. Posca's name first, maybe you'd like to come chat with us first?
Any seat with a microphone.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm humbled. I'm anxious. I'm excited. I think I run the gamut of emotions right now. I've been fortunate to be here in Nashua for about the last year and a half. Prior to that, all my experience was in Massachusetts, but I have over 20 years experience at the secondary level. So I'm really excited to have the opportunity to take my vast experiences and work with Dr. Andrade and Dr. Sarfty and the team at Central Office to continue continue the work that we're doing. It's been certainly the last couple of years have been trying. One of the, things that we've talked about, and one of the things I mentioned in my interviews is the fact that, we're very pleased at how we did school this last year, and that was really the success that we had. And I think right now the opportunity for us to do it better. And so to have some of the conversations that we're having now about moving it forward and really pushing our teaching and learning experiences in the building, supporting our staff as we enter in the next school year, and really support our students and their families and what they're going through. So I'm certainly excited about these opportunities. I'm excited to take the experiences I've had thus far here in Nashua. I've really, over the last year and a half, I've really met some great people here, and that's why I've really enjoyed myself here in Nashua, and why I'm indebted to try to stay here and to continue to do some of the work that maybe we haven't been able to do because of all the issues that we've dealt with over the last couple of years, and really try to turn the corner and move forward to the next level of the work that's to do to support our students and our families.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Posca? Ms. Raymond?
Thanks. Hi, welcome, Mr. Posca.
Hello.
As one of, I think, 3 Elm Street parents, I'm excited to see you stepping into the new role at central office, but also sad for Elm Street. And so I've read your resume, and I know you from having kids at Elm Street. But I was just curious if you or Dr. Andrade have any comments or thoughts on the next steps for Elm Street. I'm excited about your vision. I'm excited about moving forward from COVID. But I also want to make sure that our largest middle school has the coverage it needs.
So Mr. Posca and I had a conversation. I think we have something in common where we're both at Elm Street and looking about the transition and what's kind of needed there. But obviously, for some formalities, we're waiting for tonight's board meeting and the approval before there's any kind of further discussion. But we are looking, obviously, for a short-term interim. We both know that we have to cover Elm Street, so we'll be wearing multiple hats as we always do, but making sure that Elm Street students, greater community, and teachers feel supported during the transition. So we will be looking for our interim principal, and we'll be posting tomorrow if it's approved. But yes, we already had the conversation, making sure that our largest middle school doesn't feel neglected, doesn't feel like they're an afterthought. But again, I think having Mr. Posca at central office actually is a value add in helping that transition.
I totally agree. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you at central office. And then my other question was regarding the assistant principal position at Elm Street. I think someone retired and we have an opening, or did that get filled and I missed it?
Yes, we filled that position last month.
Okay, great. While I was out.
We have,
Yeah.
last meeting. So we do have,
That makes me
Kelly
feel better.
O'Donnell?
so we have two, we have 2 assistant principals we were very fortunate to have a teacher leader from Elm Street move into the assistant principal position. So we will have some stability there, which I think helps in this transition, that both assistant principals will know the faculty, the community, and our students, which will actually help the interim principal in this kind of transition. So that's filled, and now we just have to look for an interim principal and a permanent principal.
All right, thank you. That's wonderful. And my apologies to that assistant principal for not being aware of that. So welcome, yay.
Thank you.
And enjoy sitting at the circle for the rest of, hopefully till you retire.
Ms. Brown, you have a question or
So
comment?
I actually wanted to direct my question back to Mr. Posca. So what do you think is your greatest passion as an educator?
I think my greatest passion is working with kids, and I think, I come from a family of educators. Both my parents were teachers. That's why I got into the profession to work with kids. And then, as I progressed through, becoming a classroom teacher and then an athletic director and assistant principal, and to become a principal, you get to work more with staff. And to have the opportunity, I have a coaching background too, and really have the opportunity to work with staff to try to, push them to probably the areas maybe they might not be comfortable, to push our teaching and learning is exciting for me too. I think over the last couple of years that's been a challenge with everything that's going on. So that is one of the highlights, going forward is pushing our teaching and learning. Dr. Andrade, in his welcome talked about the importance of our PLC work and the importance of collaboration to really promote student achievement. So I think when you take that message that we're receiving from central office, it really does tie in nicely with a message to our staff about what our expectations are over the course of the school year, and hopefully I think it's going to be a positive school year for everyone there, is hoping to have some stability and some consistency moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so I think it's time that we should take a vote. Oh, no, we need to hear from, I'm sorry.
Ms. Duffy needs to get up here, absolutely.
Yes, she does. She needs to be in the hot seat next.
You can do them together or separate, it's up to you.
Why don't we hear from both of them and then vote separately on each of them so they can relax?
Good evening. Nice to meet everyone. I'm Brittany Duffy. I don't know really where to start. I guess I'll give a brief overview. I've been in the realm of human resources for about 15 years now. I'm currently a human resource business partner with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts with the Executive Office of Health and Human Services. Prior to that, I've been with them for about 4 years. Prior to that, I bounced around in manufacturing environments. I also worked in higher education at New England College in Henniker, where I also got my bachelor's degree. And then while I was in school for my associate's degree, I worked at the SAU office in Gorham, New Hampshire, so the North Country, where we don't cancel school unless it's a sheet of ice. So that was kind of where I got my foray into education, but I'm really passionate about people. I'm passionate about providing, great customer service to our internal contacts, and I think that during this time of transition, having someone that has a strong background and knowledge within the world of HR, be it laws or practice and procedure, I'm excited to jump in feet first and help you guys navigate some of the transition.
Are there any questions for her?
I just wanted to comment that I thought it was really cool that you have all this human research experience, but that you have worked in higher education. I think it's a nice combination.
Thank you.
Well, we welcome you. Thank you
Thank you
very
so much.
So I think it's time that we make it official on both counts. Could I have someone on the committee make a motion to nominate Mr. Posca? Ms. Brown?
I move to approve Matthew Posca as Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Schools for the 2020-22-23 school year at an annual salary of $116,000.
I'll second.
A second.
Oh, okay, you may second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. I need a motion to nominate Brittany Duffy. Okay, Ms. Brown?
I move to approve Brittany Duffy as the Human Resources Director for the 2022-2023 school year at an annual salary of $110,000.
Second. Okay, any questions before we vote? No? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Congratulations to both of you.
Can I ask a question
yeah.
now? Okay, thanks. Sorry, I just had a question about the memo and the school year. So it says for Ms. Duffy for the school year, but that's a year-round position, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, yes.
Does the motion need to be
Yeah, right.
corrected? I had a little brain pause there, but does the motion need to say that it's a year-round because it says school year?
We could, if we could amend it, but it is a 12-month contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We need her.
Anything else for tonight? Yep,
Sorry, I have another question.
that's fine.
So I'm really excited to see the very long list of hiring for our school staff, which is fantastic. I just wondered if there's an update on science teachers. I saw a Pennachuck teacher. I saw one for one of the high schools. How many positions are we still short for secondary science?
So we were working on that, compiling that list today. So,
Okay.
and I hope to include it in my next week packet, but the HR department just gave us some preliminary numbers. I don't have the exact science teachers, but I think it's about 10 throughout the district right now, 5 math teachers, 25 special educators, 19 ELL teachers, 125 paras, 1 social worker, 1 school psychologist. I think there's 2 or 3 art teachers across the district, so we're still going hot and heavy right now. I was hoping, I had a conversation with Mike this morning, that the personnel recommendations would change those numbers, and he informed me it does not. So that's why I was holding off until giving that report until after tonight, thinking or hoping, really hoping that tonight's nominations would actually change those numbers. So we still have a lot of work to do. We are also working with the Department of Education. There's a number of emergency certifications that we might have to go after, so.
Okay.
Yeah, time is running short, but we still have a lot of openings at this point.
Okay. That was my follow-up question, is regarding people who might need an alternate certification. How many of these are on the critical shortage list? Math, science?
Yeah, most of them that we're asking for.
Okay.
So, and so we're hoping with the Department of Education to compile the list instead of like one at a time trickling into the Department of Education, that we can go in as a batch and just say, we need these 20 teachers, please approve, as opposed to one-on-one and waiting for other districts.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you. Anything else for tonight? Then I'm looking for a motion to adjourn the HR meeting.
So moved.
So Ms. Brown, motions to adjourn at
5:51.
5:51. And Ms. Lamprey, would you like to second that?
Oh, sure, a second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are now adjourned. Thank you very much. Congratulations.